and he decides he wants to do another prison show. And for whatever reason, Johnny Cash always really identified with the downtrodden of society. So he got involved with a lot of causes. Like, he was really big into like Native American rights and kind of bringing light to the plight of, the Native American struggle in America. That and like the civil rights movement and women's rights stuff. Like, Johnny Cash just loved an underdog, and he would help wherever he could. And so in that, keeping that same energy, he decides his comeback album, now that he's sober and things are going good, he's going to Folsom Prison to do a show. And it took a little bit of convincing for the record label to let him do it, but they do. And so him and June, so right before this happens, he tells a story, and I'm not going to get all the names in here, but it's, I think Graham Nash, it was Graham Nash, Bob Dylan, and, I should have wrote this down. And then the writer of A Boy Named Sue, whose name escapes me and I didn't write it down, and I'm going to kick myself for this later. But the person that wrote A Boy Named Sue is in this jam session that they're having at Johnny Cash's house. And this is like the day before he's going to Folsom Prison. And in that jam session, they show him A Boy Named Sue. And he's just, oh, that's a cool song, but he doesn't, he's literally waking up the next morning to hit the road and go to Folsom Prison. So it's not like a song that he'd ever worked on. He just heard it the night before. But the person that wrote it was like, hey, why don't you take this with you and play it in Folsom? And Johnny was like, nah, I can't pull that off that quick. And June tells him, well, why don't you just take the lyrics with you and you can just recite it as a poem at the prison? And he's like, okay, sure, kind of, sort of. Well, then on the way there, he commits the song to memory. And the band, credit to the band, they're just, top-notch professionals. They end up playing A Boy Named Sue at Folsom Prison, and they nail it. And that's the only recorded version of it. Like, maybe in later decades, but until that, at least till the 80s or, maybe the 90s, that was the only recorded version of A Boy Named Sue was live at Folsom Prison. And it was like zero practice. He just read the words. They ran through it like once, plays it on stage, and they nail it. And that song adds to the success later, but it was just like an afterthought.